So what this song means to me, it feels like an invitation and a blessing. It sort of helps to give an invitation into surrendering around life and the events that happen and so forth, and just accepting that there is so much mystery in it all. It's such an intimate thing to have somebody write a song for you. It's sort of like, I assume it's everybody's teenage dream, well, certainly mine. It's quite interesting because it's a song that sort of tells a story that's the past, but then it also feels like it's opening up to the future as well. It feels like a pathway, a meander through my life. So I am the only girl of 5 or 6 children, 5 brothers. I have 5 brothers. For me, that's still my most defining feature. I don't know why. For all of primary school, I was homeschooled. Sam was my little brother. He died of leukemia when he was 17. He had Down syndrome, so he was always special in a special way. And he was my first and probably, I think he's my biggest experience of unconditional love. We were just free to love each other fully and completely, and it was it was very, very precious and beautiful. And he was my biggest teacher because, the way he lived with such joy, such presence in the moment, such a complete lack of self-consciousness, meeting people where they were at. Yeah, and when he died, I felt like I hadn't just lost my love, but I had lost my purpose, because until that time, being part of his life and caring for him, and especially towards the end, was my purpose. And so when he died, I was quite lost. My older brother Tristan was unwell, physically and mentally unwell, and in 2015 he passed away as well, and that was a complicated, painful death. There was a lot of addiction and other things that were part of that. So that was another really painful experience, but again, overall, these profoundly deep shared experiences have kept us really close. So I'm really close with my family and very grateful for my family. So Kizzy came to be, it was in 2017, and I met this guy online. He was from New Orleans and we had a holiday romance. He was here for a month. After he went back to America, I realised that I was pregnant. I had to call him and tell him with great trepidation, and his response was, wow, that's a miracle. A baby's the ultimate gift. That was what I needed to hear. And so I was like, all right, cool, let's do it. And then he came back to Australia while I was pregnant, and we got to spend another couple of weeks together. And then he came back again a week before Kislon was born. And during that time, probably there were warning signs, but I wasn't reading them, I wasn't picking them up. And so then within 24 hours of Kislon being born, he freaked out, and within a week he was gone, and it was pretty dark, it was pretty ugly, it wasn't nice. It was funny, the whole time I was pregnant, or when I started seeing Jan, she said to me, Athalia, you need to start preparing yourself to be a single mum. And at the time, I just didn't hear that. I didn't have ears to hear that. I didn't know any single mum. That's not how it went. And I look back on that now and I think, wow, yeah, she was just trying to cushion me so that things wouldn't be such a shock. I really appreciate that because she was thinking not just for the birth. She was thinking about my journey into motherhood and how I would go during those first years and so forth. I went and had this massage with this wonderful lady, Jill, and she was a single mum, and she was telling me how she had started an exhibition series that ran for about 5 or 7 years for single mums, and it was called Mighty because it was about celebrating the mightiness of being a single mum. When I came away from her, I came away with a whole new perspective. Until that time, I'd always felt like, because I didn't choose it, it felt like a failure or like the second best option. And when I left her, I was like, like this is like, we're mighty, yeah. And it really, it gave me a new kind of like swing in my step and made me feel proud, which I'd never felt before. Kizzy grounds me. He helps me to understand myself. He's very caring. I had a mosquito bite on my foot and I was scratching it, and he ran off and he came back with the packet of peas from the freezer to put on my owie. He told me the other day to drive with 2 hands on the wheel, and when I put 2 hands on the wheel, I was like, good job. So I always feel like Kizzy was my miracle, and he's a gift to me that I didn't know that I asked for, but I did. And I'm so grateful. Yeah, and he's a beautiful, beautiful boy.